Good morning, family, friends, guests, and graduates. My name is Emily Michener, Senior Class President. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my fellow senior officers, I would like to welcome you to the 51st commencement of Catoctin High School. I have 3 messages today. To our parents and families, thank you for giving us overwhelming support and preparing us to move on to the next chapter of our lives, especially during these trying times. Today is your celebration. To our teachers, administrators, and staff, thank you for making a difference in our lives. You are there for us every day, not only to teach us, but also to share in our joys and sorrows. Today is your celebration. To the class of 2020, I am so proud to represent all 178 young men and women of Catoctin High School. Even a global crisis cannot stop us from achieving and succeeding in today's world. Over the last 4 years, it has been a blessing to have you as my classmates and some of my dearest friends. For all of us, today is our celebration. At this time, please rise and join Miss Hannah Poole and Mr. Jordan Case in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets went glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The class of 2020 would like to honor and thank the Board of Education and FCPS administrative team for all their support over the past 4 years. Thank you for your dedication to educational excellence and for your support of Catoctin High School. We would like to recognize the following board members at this time. Mr. Brad W. Young, President. Mr. Jay Mason, Vice President. Ms. Liz Barrett. Mr. Michael Benitsky. Ms. Ray Gallagher. Dr. Lois Jarman. Ms. Karen Yoho. Mr. Malachi Megan, Student Board Member. We would also like to thank and recognize our Frederick County Public Schools leadership team that has continually supported our educational and personal development and goals over the past 4 years. They are Dr. Teresa Albin, Superintendent of Frederick County Public Schools, Dr. Mike Marco, Deputy Superintendent of Frederick County Public Schools, Dr. Jamie Alavito, Executive Director of System Accountability and School Administration, Ms. Kathleen Schleppel, Instructional Director of High Schools. President Young graduated from Thomas Johnson High School, Frederick Community College, University of Maryland, and has a master's degree from Frostburg University. He is a longtime supporter of education and business in Frederick County, where he has served on the Board of Education since 2010. At this time, we welcome Mr. Brad Young, President of Frederick County Board of Education.
On behalf of the Board of Education for Frederick County, I would like to extend our sincerest congratulations to the 2020 graduating class of Catoctin High School. This is my 10th year on the Board of Education, and I can tell you that no graduating class will be more special to me than yours. Your class has had to endure a lot. Most of you were being born when our country was in the grips of the horrific 9/11 attacks, and now you're graduating into a country paralyzed by a pandemic. That being said, you are one of the most accomplished and amazing classes ever from FCPS. Catoctin holds a special place in my heart, as it was an honor to visit your school this year and speak at Fired Up Friday. It was also an honor to be in Annapolis to watch your school win another football state championship. It was an honor getting to know so many graduates, including Melanie Andrew through her work with the County Student Government Association. It's been my honor to know one of your graduates since he was born, and that's Owen Bubzik. Owen embodies the type of student and great young people that Catoctin produces. Knowing that this year has not ended anywhere close to how you would have liked it to, I know that it will not stop the Catoctin class of 2020 from being very successful. I've coached and taught for many years, and I've always advised young people to always look for the best in every situation, especially a bad one. As bad as these past few months have been, there are many great things that have come about. You have seen how important you are to your families, to your friends, and to the staff at your school. You have seen your parents adapt by working at home and by helping to teach you. You have seen communities come together and support each other. Many great things have happened. Don't let this pandemic dampen your spirits, but let it inspire you and us to all be better people. In the fall, some of you will be going to college, some will attend trade schools, some will enter the workforce, and some of you will join the military to defend our great country. Any of those paths are great. Finally, what I want to say is that whichever path you choose, use the foundation of knowledge and the character that you've learned at Catoctin High School and let it guide you well. Work hard, treat people right, smile every day, and try to be the best at whatever it is that you do. Congratulations, Catoctin class of 2020.
Dr. Albin has served as Superintendent of Frederick County Public Schools since July 2011. With over 35 years of educational experience, she has guided FCPS into the 21st century. Dr. Albin is committed to working with the people of Frederick County, parents, students, teachers, staff, taxpayers, to ensure that FCPS remains a premier school system. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the Superintendent of Frederick County Public Schools, Dr. Teresa Albin.
Congratulations, Cougars class of 2020. Before I start my speech, I have a question for you. Are there any crazies out there? Cougars, it is an honor to join you, your families, friends, teachers, and staff who have supported you on this journey to a high school graduation. I do not think any of us would have predicted the detour you had to take on your educational journey because of the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. It has definitely made your journey unique, unprecedented, and a true life-changing experience. This crisis changed many things, but we know that our 21st century world is constantly changing, even when things are normal. Your years in school have provided a foundation for learning that will enable you to continue to grow and change. You have learned many important lessons in high school, as your classmates have shared with me. From Nigel Ta Umang. I know this is very cliche, but I guess be yourself. Be confident of who you are. As a guy who just moved here from another country, I do not have that much confidence in me. I remember the first time I moved here, I didn't even want to talk to somebody. Now I have made new friends and explored something new. From an anonymous senior. The most important lesson I have learned is that the only approval you need is from yourself, not from others. It is important for us to find who we truly are, and high school is most certainly that time for most of us. If you focus on what others think of you or try to seek their approval, you will never be who you want to be. Be yourself, and everything else will follow. From another anonymous senior, high school has taught me to stay dedicated and focused to achieve my goal. And from another anonymous senior, you never really know what people are going through. Throughout high school, there have been numerous times when I have had the opportunity to work with others who were struggling with personal issues. I learned you have to be kind to everyone because kindness can change someone's life. And from Eli Fry, making decisions, thinking about the future rather than the present. From deciding between what to eat for lunch to deciding whether or not to skip class, decision-making occurs every day. The sooner I understood that every action has a consequence, the better prepared I was to put myself into the best position possible to succeed at the highest level I could daily. I believe the lessons you learned on your educational journey helped you to cope and adapt during this pandemic crisis. It is often said that a crisis reveals a person's true character. I think a crisis also builds our character, as we must rise to meet new challenges. That is definitely what happened for many members of the class of 2020. Here are some of your classmates' reflections on the valuable lessons they have learned by living through a crisis. From an anonymous senior. The pandemic has taught me to never take anything for granted, and that everything happens for a reason. We can now look back on the memories we have made together and appreciate them so much more. This may seem as if we got something taken from us, but I see it as we gained more vivid memories and stronger friendships. From another anonymous senior. When school was canceled and I soon realized many of my senior year events that I had been waiting for since I was a child were canceled, I was heartbroken. It took me a few weeks of being upset to sit back and see the bigger picture. I have learned that when you step back from your problems and look at the bigger picture, it is easy to be reminded of all that we are blessed with. I soon realized I could take this time to be with my family before leaving for college. No matter how great a problem is, we must always see the brighter side of life and realize that we can get through it. It is just another piece to the puzzle which we call our life. From another anonymous senior. The only thing I can control is myself. Although this was the worst thing to have happened senior year, it is out of my control. I also learned that if you look hard enough at a bad situation, you can still find the good. And from Lynn Morier, how grateful I am for the people in our world, whether it's doctors and nurses fighting on the front lines, or the people who are stocking our shelves at the grocery stores. There are people all over the world making so many sacrifices during a time when it is so easy to only worry about yourself. So I guess you can say it has taught me humility. It has taught me that in a time of worry and confusion and chaos, we should worry about not just ourselves, but about taking care of one another. I hope that all the kindness that is currently shown all around the world will continue as the world begins to return to normal. Just think of what a pleasant place the world would be if we showed this kindness every day. The class of 2020 has grown so much in 13 years and in the last 3 months. You have sacrificed much during this crisis, and I hope you will reflect on what you have gained as well. Your classmates have said it so eloquently. There is no doubt that your class will be remembered in history. Yet I believe that the members of this class will not be remembered because you graduated during the pandemic of 2020, but because of how you rose from that crisis to become incredible leaders, thinkers, innovators, and compassionate global citizens. And so, Cougars class of 2020, now is your time to create positive change in the world. I wish you much success on your journey, and remember, make us FCPS proud of you.
One of the great joys of being at Catoctin every day is hearing our talented musicians. At this time, please welcome Miss Aubrey Gadra, Miss Hannah Poole, and Miss Samantha Royer, who will be performing Wherever I Go by Michael Porteous and Stephen Peterman.
Tomorrow as we say goodbye to yesterday.
One of the highlights of each Catoctin graduation is the student address. This year, our address will be delivered by seniors Mr. Maxwell Bingman and Miss Emma Apple.
Good morning, graduating class of 2020.
Or as Coach Williams would say, morning team. My name is Max Bingman, but you may know me better as SGA president for the past 2 years.
And my name is Emma Apple. Before we start, we would like to thank the amazing staff and administrators that made our last year Catoctin memorable.
We would also like to thank our friends and family who supported us through everything.
It seems like it was just yesterday when the senior class of 2017 told us to enjoy the next 4 years of our lives, because they'll go by faster than you think.
Man, were they right. One of the things I believe our class will miss the most after graduating is the strong sense of community at Catoctin High School.
I can attest to the fact that Catoctin High School's sense of community is incomparable to anything I have experienced. Growing up, I attended a variety of schools. I didn't realize a school could be so deeply rooted in its community until I came to Catoctin. Catoctin is unique in the fact that it feels like a small town. Events such as community shows, Santa's workshops, and the homecoming parade are all experiences only Catoctin kids can understand. It was our small town that gave us the ability to form and nurture strong relationships, and most importantly, taught us to be kind to people. We have learned how to become a part of something bigger than ourselves, a community.
It was through shared experiences that we, as students, gained a general sense of community. Whether you listened intently to Inspiring Fridays, engaged in any athletic events or theater productions, or participated in a club, you have experienced just some of what Catoctin has to offer. Although these big events help create who we are, it was the little moments that has just as big an impact on who we are today.
Often we overlook the small chats we had in the library or the time we helped a friend get through a tough time. But these times were just as instrumental in creating our sense of identity. These moments didn't just propel us academically, they made us who we are today. These are the things we will cherish and miss the most.
As we reflect on these moments, big and small, we can gain a greater appreciation for the bittersweet memories we have made together. We cannot say that we don't miss walking down the halls with friends, greeting teachers, and raising our hands to ask a question. But even outside its walls, together, we call Catoctin home. Even though we can't reminisce about the past 4 years in person, we should highlight the ups and downs of how we got here today.
Freshman year was the beginning of it all. We were reminded of the same fear and excitement we experienced when walking into Catoctin 4 years ago. Feeling unprepared yet willing, we stepped into the next chapter of our lives, as we are doing so today.
You can tell a lot about a generation by the trends they create and follow. We entered Catoctin flipping water bottles and giving tribute to Harambe in every sentence. It wasn't until now I realized that wearing a flannel over a sweatshirt maybe wasn't the best move.
Throughout high school, we experienced many firsts. Freshman year, we got our first taste of independence, went to our first homecoming, attended our first football game as a Catoctin student, and tried out for our very first high school sport.
The only thing we could remember about sophomore year was Fortnite.
And just like Fortnite, we don't want to think about it anymore. Junior year was a wake-up call. It was then we realized our days of carelessness were limited. Not to mention, it was the most difficult year, a year of SAT prep and higher level courses.
Edwards. It was also the year that we learned math maybe wasn't our strong suit. I'm looking at you, Austin Calhoun. Although junior year was a challenging year for us, there are still many great memories from that year we cherish. Junior year, we experienced our first time driving to school, our first prom, and our first year as upperclassmen. On the last day of junior year, the only thing anyone could talk about was the fact that we were now seniors.
Many of our memories from senior year include bleeding blue at the football games, but quite literally blowing our noses blue after the games, listening to live concerts in Mr. Hadley's class, understanding the true meaning of senioritis, and appreciating the precious time we have left with our Catoctin family.
The final year of high school isn't just a period of time in our lives. It's an emotion. It's the feeling of achievement and gratification for the years of education we put into it. The feeling of excitement and fear for what's to come. The curiosity and questions that come with the uncertainty of tomorrow. It allows us to reflect upon ourselves as human beings and to look at every friendship and every hardship and how it has changed who we are. It gives us time to remember who has helped us along the way. I took for granted every day that I had with this class at Catoctin before senior year. This year, many of us found ourselves and found a purpose. Many of us will go on to college, go to a trade school, go into the workforce, or serve in the military. Whatever it is that we move on to, we will never forget our time at Catoctin. As senior year has come and gone in a blink of an eye, it has only made us realize just what our high school experience was all about.
I can't say I know every single one of you personally in this class. Maybe we were teammates once. Maybe we sat next to each other freshman year in that one history class, or perhaps I only ever passed you in the hallway. One thing we know for sure is that we are a family. Catoctin has been a home for the past 4 years. Despite differences in saying just how much we cannot wait to leave, we cannot doubt that we will miss it at Catoctin.
It is the staff, students, and community of Catoctin that make it feel like home. And that has made the change from personal to virtual interactions so painful. Although we miss each other dearly, our cherished relationships are what's keeping us together. We may have lost exciting milestones, but our friendships have only become more significant. Our Cougar pride is what allowed us to be so resilient in these trying times.
We may feel like something has been taken from us, but this experience has taught us so much. Our shared experiences have given us all a new perspective and a much greater appreciation for the smaller things in life. The class of 2020 will always have this newfound sense of strength and appreciation. Every bittersweet memory is more vivid as if we were watching a home video. Taking moments for granted is now a thing of the past. We will no longer live blindly while we let fleeting moments pass by. Instead, we will recognize when we are living in the moments that we will remember forever.
As we say goodbye to one another, we begin a new chapter in our lives, a chapter full of new beginnings, new friendships, and a new perspective on the world. Today, we are graduating seniors. Tomorrow, we can be anything our hearts desire.
There is no known path for our lives. Life is an adventure, full of mistakes and successes. The world will change us in ways we never thought. Just think about how different we were 4 years ago. We can't imagine who we will be in the next years to come, but we know that Catoctin has given us the tools to be whoever we desire. We couldn't find the right words to sum up our times together.
So, as Neil Diamond once said from the song Sweet Caroline,
Good times never seemed so good.
Thank you.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our principal, Ms. Jennifer Clements.
It is my pleasure to be a part of this ceremony to honor and recognize our very deserving class of 2020. I thank our honored guests, staff, parents, and community members for joining us to celebrate our Catoctin High School seniors. This is not the graduation program that any of us envisioned as we started this school year, so it's even more important that we pay tribute to your hard work, accomplishments, contributions, and dedication to each other, our school, and your community over the last 4 years. I have only known most of you since September, but during that time you have made a significant and positive impression on me. I wanted to be able to reflect not just this year, but all 4 years of your high school career in my message today. So I asked some of the other members of the Catoctin High School staff to share their reflections on the class of 2020. What was described to me was a group of students who have grown and matured into the spirited, caring, hardworking, and resilient young adult leaders I've had the pleasure to know this year. I did have to mention growth because it sounds like you were a little bit of a squirrely group as freshmen. In these 4 years, you have celebrated together in good times and supported one another in tough times. You give your time, your hearts, and your skills to each other and your community. You are well positioned to venture ahead successfully into the next phase of your life, and I want to offer you just a few things to think about as you reflect on your past and stand ready to take on your future. The first is to enjoy the moment while remembering the past as the foundation for your future. The current situation has caused many of us to slow down and reflect, and many of you have shared a very mature perspective as a result. You have a greater appreciation for the times and events when we were together. I hope that will serve as a reminder to pause in every moment, good or bad, and recognize the piece of your memory that is being shaped. I also encourage you to reflect on the moments that have been the building blocks for the future you are creating. The second piece of advice I would offer is to always seek opportunities to learn something new, while also recognizing those opportunities that present themselves when you may not be looking. If you strive to learn at least one thing every day or in every situation, I guarantee that you will. I am confident as you reflect on the last 4 years, you will think about the learning in your classes but also the life lessons you have gained. My wish for each of you is that you will continue your learning throughout your lifetime and that you will help others around you do the same. And finally, I hope that you will always use your powers for good. You are each a unique and special combination of skills, personality, and interests. Use those to your benefit and to benefit others. I have seen great examples this year as our community always comes together to support our school and our students. I hope that you have appreciated the special community in which you have grown up and recognize the importance of being a part of something bigger than yourself. Each of you are an amazing person who has great potential to have a positive impact on our world. I am truly honored to be a part of the Catoctin community and to serve as your principal. I am grateful to the amazing staff that has shown such dedication, both in person and virtually, to you as both students and as people. I am grateful to the parents and community of Catoctin. Your commitment to our school and our students is something very special. Seniors, I hope you take a few minutes, if you've not done so already, to share your appreciation for those in your life who have helped to foster your growth into the incredible young adults you have become. They did a great job and deserve our gratitude. Catoctin High School is a special place, and the CHS class of 2020 has been a big part of that. You have set a strong example of what it means to be a positive member of Cougar Nation. Catoctin has a strong history of 50+ years, and it continues to be an amazing school filled with intelligent, spirited, respectful, and enjoyable students. Thank you for your leadership, your empathy, and your hard work, which has set a strong foundation for the classes to come in the next 50 years. As you continue your life's journey, please remember the experiences and knowledge that you gained at Catoctin High School and use that to continue making a positive mark on this world. Congratulations and best wishes to the Catoctin High School class of 2020. Now it is my honor to present this year's Cougar Paw Award. While we recognize that every adult that works in our building has been important to the education and development of our students into young men and women, each year the senior class votes on one staff member they feel embodies the spirit of Catoctin High School. I am thankful to Mr. Russ Headley, who wrote this eloquent tribute to this year's recipient. We are all lucky if we are able to witness a legend at least once in our lifetime. And Doug Williams is certainly a living legend at Catoctin High School. Coach Williams has been a universally loved symbol of our great school for nearly 3 decades. And anyone who knows DW knows that he is a smart, funny, enthusiastic, devout, passionate, humble force of goodness in a world that needs more of that special type of person. We could talk about Coach Williams' successful 29 years as a teacher at Catoctin High School and his 29 years as head coach of the Catoctin Cougars football team, and his 2 state titles and his many other awards and achievements. But in doing so, we would be seeing the forest and missing the trees, because above all else, Doug Williams is a dedicated man of integrity and a consummate gentleman whose innate sense of decency has brought joy to our entire school and community, minute by minute, day in and day out, year after year for 29 years. Mr. Williams has always been one of the leaders of the Catoctin family, and his positive influence will live forever in our community. Coach is a dedicated professional, a family man, a music lover, and a giving member of this community. Coach Williams has always emphasized team and family, and it has been our great fortune to be a part of Coach Williams' team and Coach Williams' family. Former Catoctin coach and teacher Kurt Stein recently summed it up succinctly and accurately when he said of Coach Williams, he was a good football coach and an even better man. It is with great pleasure that we hereby award Coach Doug Williams with the 2020 Catoctin High School Cougar Paw Award.
Before we move on to honoring the class of 2020 with their diplomas, the senior class would like to thank a very special group of people who have played major roles in successfully bringing them to this point in their lives. On behalf of the senior class, I would like to thank and congratulate our staff of Catoctin High School for impacting our lives in so many ways. Thank you.
Dr. Albin, at this time, I am pleased to announce that the graduates of Catoctin High School have met the Maryland state requirements to earn their high school diploma, and I recommend them for graduation.
Quinn McKinley Alley. Melanie Reagan Andrew. Courtney Paige Andrews. Emma Marie Apple. Jacob James Baker. Justin Bryant Barber. Jason Richard Bost. Caitlin Taylor Beck. Jessica Lynn Bentley. Holly Annette Bentz.
Maxwell Lewis Bingman. Shane Calvin Beiser. Nathan Garrett Black. Mason Ryan Boggs. Cole Michael Bowen. Jeremy Douglas Bronner. Devin Michael Brewer. Sierra Lynn Brown. Owen Chase Bubsick.
Adam Dale Buffington. Elizabeth Jane Birch. Luke Joseph Burrier. Aaron Michael By. Sierra Grace Carter. Briar Dwight Castello. Morgan Ann Cato. Mason William Clark. Megan Josephine Clark. Sierra Marie Elise Cook.
Dylan Christopher Cottrell. Haley Nevea Crawford. Shelby Christine Crow. Morgan Elizabeth Curtis. Marissa Diane Signarowitz. Robert Orrin Danzy III. Ashley Nicole Davis. Chelsea Danielle Davis. Sarah Jane DeGrange. Hayden Bradley Dextrotter.
Felicity Morgan Duty. Kyle Cameron Dorcas. Michael Gentry Doherty. Laura Elaine Dutton. Isaac Atticus Egger. Ethan Thomas Felichko. Travis Daniel Fields. Brandon Leroy Finneyfrock. Kayla Berlin Flannery. Riley Elizabeth Flick.
Madison Ann Floor. Emma Caitlin Ford. Rachel Jane Fox. Gage Allen France. Tyler Matthew Free. Eli Charles Fry. Aubrey Grace Gadra. Thomas Orlando Guyton. Jonathan Wayne Glass. Joangel Gomez Ventura.
Josh Clayton Griffin. Mary Louise Gilday. Paisley Grace Gum. Sydney Victoria Hayfler. Marshall Allen Wayne Hahn. Cheyenne Lee Haynes. Lauren Nicole Haller. Brett Michael Hallman. Rachel Lee Handler. Molly Leanne Harbaugh.
Logan Wyatt Harrington. Adriana Lorraine Hassel. Tyler Christian Hawk. Dustin Paul Harold. Samantha Riley Hess. Jeremy Augustine Hochschild. Alexa Ann Hopkins. Colby Stephen Horning. Alexia Catherine Alice Hurley. Madeline Victoria Shea Jones.
Jordan Joseph Case. Carly Joanne Ketzel. Jacob David Keeney. Madison Lee Kiesling. Abigail Carlene Kinnaird. Molly Jo Knighton. Kaylin Lene Latham. Taylor Nicole Lauman. Ty Wayne Lenhart. Wayne William Lewis Wagner.
Matthew Scott Linker. Camden Robert Lopez. Juliana Lopez. Isaac Marcellus Love. Grace Evelyn Majors. Annalise Marie Manahan. Hope April Manahan. Daniel David McCarthy. Jacob Brian McElvain. Nicole Dorothy McIntosh.
Rachel Marie Mahaffey. Travis Lee Miles. Philip George Millison. Luke Aaron Minnick. Emily Isabel Mitchner. Thomas McGintrey Moore. Lynn Marie Morlier. Noah Bennett Olesic. Andrea Ortega. Evan Thomas Ott.
David Isaiah Parker. Justice Xavier Pastor. Ethan Christopher Paulus. Jean Catherine Pembroke. Mackenzie Joe Perhatch. Braden Matthew Plunkard. Hannah Grace Poole. Paige Renee Price. Madison Ramondi. Ryan Jordan Reed.
Sean Marshall Repis, Jr. Madison Danielle Reynolds. Tristan Blake Rice. Matthew Hunter Reinhardt. Nicholas Stephen Reinhardt. Patrick Warren Ritchie. Noel Alberto Romero. Krista Stevana Royer. Samantha Terrell Royer.
Isabel Rozo. Kelsey Renee Scalera. Bryce Richard Schilling. Alicia Nicole Sexton. Mason Richard Shank. Carson Brenna Sugars. Jada Rain Snyder. Seth Jacob Sparta. Samantha Grace Starkey. Sierra Elaine Steely.
Lindsay Caroline Stouter. Cariana Lynn Strickhauser. Emily Elizabeth Strickland. Emma Grace Strickland. Sarah Lene Stahl. Nigel Macklin Tallmong. Cassidy Jolene Tobery. Madison Elizabeth Tobery. Garrett Logan Toms. Glenn Ellsworth Toms.
Nicole Irene Torrey. Cole Rudolph Torres. Logan James Treadway. Sophia Elizabeth Treadway. Anthony Austin Treganowan. Isaac Michael Turner. Christopher Allen Turnquist. Emily Jean Turnquist. Nicholas William Utermallen. Tierra Nicole Velasquez.
Ryden Walthall Waddy. Carlton Edward Walker Jr. Drew Edward Wantz. Jordan Michelle Warner. Madison Claire Wassler. Abigail Brianne Wagley. Sierra Nicole Weatherly. Kaylee Monet Wayford. Alexandria May Whirling.
Luke Stephen Wetzel. Michaela Isabel White. Todd Richard Ivy Wilhide. Madison Lee Williams. Zaina Dawn Wills. Connor Lynn Wood. Cheyenne Nicole Worth. Miranda Shea Wyatt. Alyssa Marie Zentz.
As president of Class of 2020, I accept your diplomas and thank the faculty and our families for their support that enabled us to reach this point in our lives. Fellow graduates, join me wherever you are in turning our tassels from the right to the left as we are now graduates from Catoctin High School. As the last official act as senior class president, I will now pass the gavel to the Class of 2021 president, Ava Mays.
On behalf of the Class of 2021, I accept this gavel and congratulate the Class of 2020.